MetLife Stadium is vibrating. It's a low hum at first, then a roar that feels like it's coming from the ground itself. 82,000 people are on their feet, but they aren't screaming for a touchdown or a home run. They are erupting for a goal in the World Cup final. In this exact moment, the big three American sports, football, baseball, and basketball, just got a permanent fourth roommate that might eventually take the biggest bedroom in the house. Today, we're looking at how FIFA is basically recoding the American sports brain. I'm going to show you the secret reason why the NFL is actually terrified of this tournament and exactly how your local city is about to change forever. If you stick around, you'll see the one specific rule change in the MLS that could make American soccer teams richer than Real Madrid. If you miss that part, you're missing the blueprint for the next decade of sports business. The 2026 World Cup isn't just a tournament. It's the largest sporting event in human history, hosted across 16 cities in the US, Canada, and Mexico. For the United States, this is the final boss of sports marketing. We're looking at a projected $5 billion in short-term economic activity. But the real story is the permanent shift in how Americans spend their weekends and their money. Think about the scale of this thing. We're talking about 48 teams, up from the usual 32. That means more games, more fans, and more money flowing through cities that usually only care about the NFL draft. If you think soccer will finally overtake baseball in the US, drop a soccer ball emoji in the comments and hit subscribe. We're tracking this massive shift all the way to 2026, and you don't want to be left behind. The infrastructure explosion is where things get really wild. We're seeing the transformation of NFL cathedrals like MetLife, SoFi, and Mercedes-Benz Stadium into global football hubs. But here's the catch. FIFA has incredibly strict rules about grass. Most of our high-tech stadiums use artificial turf, which FIFA refuses to use for the World Cup. So these owners are spending upwards of $10 million just to convert turf to natural grass for a few weeks. But wait, the craziest part is still ahead. These stadiums aren't just getting new grass, they're being retrofitted with technology that will change how we watch all sports. We're talking about AR replays that you can see through your phone while sitting in the stands, and biometric entry that scans your face so you never have to pull out a ticket. Seeing these drone shots of SoFi makes it feel like the future is already here. If that looks like a world you want to live in, smash that like button so the algorithm knows you're here for the high-tech stuff. Then there's the Messi effect on steroids. We all saw what happened when Lionel Messi showed up in Miami. Tickets that used to cost $40 were suddenly going for $400. But Messi was just the beta test for the 2026 hype. Apple TV already signed a 10-year, $2.5 billion deal with MLS. And the viewership numbers are skewing younger than any other major sport in the country. Take a kid named Leo in Kansas City. A few years ago, he'd be wearing a Patrick Mahomes jersey every single day. Now, he's wearing an Inter Miami jersey or a Manchester City kit. He's waking up at 7 in the morning to watch games in London and staying up late to watch the MLS. He's part of a generation that doesn't see soccer as a foreign sport. To him, it's just the sport. And the reason why the youth stats are exploding? You won't believe how much money is being poured into the grassroots level right now. We're looking at a $5 billion windfall for the 11 U.S. host cities. 6 million tourists are expected to fly in. Hotel prices in cities like Dallas or Seattle are already projected to triple overnight. It's going to be a gold rush for anyone with a spare room or a local business near a stadium. But the real legacy isn't the hotel revenue, it's the World Cup legacy funds. These are millions of dollars that will stay behind to build hundreds of mini-pitches in inner cities. They're creating a permanent talent pipeline so that by 2030, the next global superstar might actually be a kid from South Philly or East LA. This is a massive cultural pivot. Soccer is now the #2 most popular sport for Gen Z to play. The old tailgate culture we grew up with is being replaced by supporter groups and European-style marches through city streets. It's changing the entire vibe of American Saturdays. And hold on, this next part changes everything you think you know about sports money. What happens when the circus leaves town? The goal isn't just to have a good party in 2026. The goal is to make MLS a top 5 league globally by 2030. American brands like Nike and Coca-Cola are already starting to shift their massive marketing budgets. They're moving money away from the NBA and NFL specifically towards soccer because that's where the global growth is. You can sell an NFL jersey in Ohio, but you can sell a soccer jersey in every single country on Earth. So, where does that leave us? By July 2026, the US won't just be hosting the world, it will have become a core part of the global football ecosystem. That old idea of American exceptionalism in sports, where we only played games no one else played, is finally dying. It's being replaced by a seat at the world's biggest table. 2026 isn't just a one-month party, it's the big bang for a new American economy. If you aren't paying attention to the business of soccer now, you're missing the biggest wealth and culture transfer in modern sports history. 11 million tickets will be sold, $14 billion will change hands, and the American sports map will be redrawn forever. The drone pans back from the stadium. The lights are blinding. The whistle blows. The screen goes dark, leaving only one number, 2026. It's not just a year. It's the day the game changed for good. To understand the full scope of this change, we have to look at the money. When we talk about $5 billion in economic activity, it sounds like a big, abstract number. But let's break it down to the street level. In a city like Atlanta, the World Cup isn't just coming for a weekend. It's taking over the city for a month. Every restaurant, every Uber driver, and every local shop will feel the surge. This is a level of sustained economic pressure that the Super Bowl simply can't match, because the Super Bowl is a one-day event. The World Cup is a marathon of consumption. Furthermore, the television rights are where the real power lies. For decades, the NFL has been the undisputed king of the American living room. But the global reach of soccer means that advertisers can reach a worldwide audience with a single 30-second spot during the final. This is why you see companies like Amazon and Google sniffing around soccer rights. They aren't just buying a sports broadcast, they are buying a gateway to the global middle class. The transition from turf to grass in NFL stadiums is more than just a landscaping project. It represents a fundamental shift in how these billion-dollar assets are managed. For years, turf was the standard because it was durable and cheap. But the demand for natural grass for the World Cup is forcing owners to rethink their entire approach to player safety and game quality. This shift will likely ripple back into the NFL, as players have been vocal about their preference for grass for years. FIFA is essentially forcing the NFL's hand, making the league better in the process. As we look toward the future, the impact on the American youth cannot be overstated. When a child sees the greatest players in the world competing in their backyard, it changes their aspirations. We are going to see a surge in registration for youth soccer leagues that will dwarf anything we saw in the 1990s. This isn't just about playing a game, it's about joining a global community. The 2026 World Cup is the bridge that finally connects the American sports fan to the rest of the planet. It is the moment the world's game truly becomes America's game too.